am back to do another video. I am going to do a reading vlog where I let a scavenger hunt choose my 200th book that I'm going to read this year. Sorry, you're going to have a very, very cute German Shepherd here because she does not like when I talk to cameras or she can't identify who the people are, so she's concerned. It's also Santa Day here and the Santa trucks are all around outside and she's getting a bit upset. She's getting a bit pressed. So I've actually got these questions from Covers with Cassidy. I will link her below because that's where I'm getting the questions from. And I'm excited to do this because I really want to know what I'm reading for my 200th book. Question 1 is a book you're glad you didn't judge by its cover. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hi, puppy. Hi. Alright, let me go find a book and see if I could get her a bone so she won't be biting my wrist to this whole part. Let me go find a upper book that I kept that I'm glad I didn't judge by its cover. So the book I chose was The Roughest Draft by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. I'll be honest, I'm not always the biggest fan of romance covers. They just kind of strike me as a little bit boring. So I decided to choose The Roughest Draft. I really, really like this book. I like all their books, but this cover doesn't really do a lot for me. And honestly, if I was doing it by a cover, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. But I'm glad that I did because I really did like it. Definitely one of my favorite romances of the year. Like adult, traditionally published romances. Alright, so next question is a book that is heavier than the last. So I've got to find how much this weighs, which, according to Cassidy, Amazon is my friend, which is true. Even though I hate using Amazon, but we'll do it for this. The Roughest Draft. Sorry, you're gonna hear my dog barking. I apologize. She is having a rough moment when there's everything outside, and she knows that, and she's just barking because she's upset. Okay, so let me see, how much does this weigh? 10.6 ounces. Alright, let me just see. Alright, let me go something that's more than 10.6 ounces. Yeah. Alright, let me go do something more than 10.6 ounces. I'm sure I will find something because that's not that heavy, but I'm probably going to go for like a hardback or something and see if it works. Okay, so I decided to go with Starling House by Alexis E. Harrow because that is a book that weighs more, which is good. That one was sort of easy to identify. Oh no, did I lose my thing? I think I lost my thing. Alright, hold on, let me see if I can go backwards and see if I can find it. I lost my thing. Oh no. Okay. Alright, hold on one second. Technical problems, of course. Book with the same number of chapters as the last. So this book has... Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Alright, so this has 32 chapters, which is doable. So let me go find something that has 32 chapters. Let's hope for the best. Hi. So the closest book I found to the prompt was Station Eternity, and this has about like 34, and I think that that's probably the closest I'm going to get. And a book where the same author has blurbed it and the previous, or the author of the previous book. A book where the same author has blurbed it and the previous, or the author of the previous book has blurbed a new book. Oh, alright, well that's easy. So T. Kingfisher did blurb this, which means I have to find a T. Kingfisher book, which I have a lot of. So let me go get one and then we'll go from there. So I wound up picking Padeline's Grace by T. Kingfisher, and it's a book with an opposite cover. So this has like a lot of things on it. It's very much in like the purple and like green family, and it's illustrated. So ideally I'd like to find a book that's like not illustrated, that's like has like actual people on it and is like in the opposite cover. So it has like people and it's kind of like a totally different like style. So I'd have to find something in like the orange family, but it definitely would have to have people on it. So let me go find that. Sorry. So when I like everything falls like when I knock. This like light tray is not the best. Sorry, I'm gonna move myself a little bit back. So when I think of this cover, this is really the opposite. It's my Brandon Sanderson Sunlit Man. Haven't even taken it out of the aluminum foil yet. And a book published in the same year as the previous or closest to it. So this I know was published in 2023. So that's pretty much easy. I have so many 2023 books. Yeah, that won't be hard. So I'm gonna go get you a 2023 book and I'll be back. Tried to really not look at the prompt because I know like any book could count. So I decided What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, which I don't know anything about, but it is my really, really pretty edition. And then we are up to read a book with the reverse number of pages. So, oh my god, this one always kills me. Like, always. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, so we have 593. So, let me go use Goodreads and see if I could find something that's 593 pages. Would be quite chunky, but let me see what I could find. I put this book, but I do own it. So, the closest I can get to is 598 for The Crimson Crown by Cinda Williams Chima. Last letter, first letter. Last letter of the preview book is the same as the book's first letter of the title. Oh, N. Okay. N. N. That's a hard word to start with, N. Alright, again. Let me do some Googling, some research. Ooh, N. I actually have one. I actually see an N. I'll be back. Alright. So, this is Omar Epps' Nubia, The Reckoning, sequel to Nubia, The Awakening, which I have not read, but I got this at one of my book conventions that I went to, and it said, find a book with a similar spine, which basically is nothing on it, just like name on top, sort of down below, and then just the thing, and then the thing, so really nothing on it other than the name, and, you know, nothing like very exciting, like just the, so, and this is an arc, so I'll probably try to get an arc title just so they look a little bit similar. So let me go back. Sometimes your best laid plans don't always work. So I am back to redo the end of this picking. So I had Nubia, and it says you had to find a book that had like a similar spine. So I am going to go with Princess Private Eye by Evelyn Skye, which is a middle grade. It has very, very similar spines. So I think I'm going to go with this. And now I'm going to go look at what the next prompt is, and then we will choose a book because the Wednesday book strike kind of tossed me off on my horse, and now I don't know what I want to read, and nothing sounds good right now. So let's go choose another book connected to this. I will go look at the prompts and then we will chat. Well, because I read Violet, my next book had to be black, so I think I'm going to pick up The Dark Descent by Kayla Josephine. Yeah, sorry, there was a lot of trouble me finding a book because all the books, I really wanted to read a book that was like red and was from Wednesday, but I can't read that, at least if I want to post this vlog like in a timely fashion. So yeah, I'm going to pick up this one. I remember I was reading it. I remember it's steeped in Jewish folklore. There's races. There's a lot. This is like a very, very pretty edition. This is my Owl Crate edition. So I'll show that off. It has these beautiful end papers, this beautiful back of the book, which I love. And it has this other side. Oh my god, this book is just so pretty. Steeped in Lewis Joe this dark descent is a spellbinding new fantasy full of intrigue, romance, and pulse-pounding action. In a world as dangerous as this, with hidden agendas and correcting desires, but your maker and Aaron winning the ill will increase the writer's danger. I think I see with like a horse race, I think. It also has these pretty end papers and this. So yeah, oh my god, I love my editions. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up this, and this will be what I read for this. Sorry I was a little bit out of order. I just want to try to read stuff that I can actually post, because then I'll like film the vlog and I'll post it in 2024. But yeah, my 200th read is going to be this Dark Descent, and I have read stuff by Kayla Josephine before and I have enjoyed it, so I'm excited to dive into this. And when I read about 50 pages of this, I will give you guys an update. Bye. Hey Book Dragons, I just want to give you a quick update. It is a lot later. I think it's almost like 3:30. But after a lot of picking up and putting down, I decided I was going to read The Dark Descent by Kayla Josephine. I'm liking it so far. So far we get 2 point of views. I don't know if we get other point of views, but I'm intrigued. I read the Stormcrow duology by this author and I really, really liked it. This book is very, very different, but it is steeped in Jewish mythology, which her middle grade is also steeped in that, which I'm liking. I love that series. I have to actually continue. I had an e-arc and then I just didn't get around to actually finishing it. But this follows 2 main characters. It follows Mika, whose dad is he works at magic, but magic is very, very illegal in the society. And she's been doing like underground racing on a enchanted horse, and her father has basically been accused of being a magician and he's been taken away, and she's kind of been picked up by the Lord and says, okay, if you win this race, you do it on a non-enchanted horse, I will give you back your father. And then the other point of view character is Ariel, and she is someone that can enchant horses. She's very, very good at it. She is Kinnish, I think. Which basically people like are very, very suspicious of the Kinnish. And she can do illegal, like she can like basically make a golem, and she can kind of make them enchanted in a sense, and it's also very, very illegal. So they're kind of forced to work together because Mikira needs to race on a non-enchanted horse, which Ariel can do, and Ariel's gonna be the enchanter. And then you have the Lord, I don't know his name. Oh my god, Damon, who I like so far. And I think it's gonna be both their romances, because we also have 2 guys that are like with them, which I'm really intrigued by right off the bat. But yeah, I'm liking it. I read about 60 pages and I'm gonna try to read to page 100 before I give you like a solid update. But so far, I'm really, actually, you know what, maybe I'll try to read to part 2. I don't know when that is. Yeah, I'll give you an update when I get to part 2, which is not actually that far. It was like it's like 100 pages, so I'll give you guys an update when I get to part 2. But so far, this is like the prep for the competition. These characters are getting to know each other, which I'm really enjoying. So yeah, I will give you an update when I get to part 2, and we'll chat then. Bye. Hey, Bike Dragons, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up getting up to part 2 in my book, so that's basically like 100 pages. I'm really enjoying it. I think that this book is just working for me, and it's like a seamless read. Like, I like both characters. They're very, very different, and it's a very like complicated world, but I think Kayla Josephine is doing a really good way of like describing it. You could definitely see the tension in both the characters, both Ariel and in McCary, and they both are dealing with a lot of situations in this world that I'm really liking. I think that the horse breeding and the horse enchantments and the competition is really captivating. We haven't even reached the competition yet. There's also the potentiality of 2 very, very strong romances in this book, which I don't think I've read in a while. Like, normally if I read a fantasy book, it's like a male and female point of view. So to have 2 females that have very, very strong dynamics and are potentially going to have like a friendship, I like, because they seem very isolated right now, which is hard. So I'm really enjoying it. Like, we haven't really got to the competition element. We're just learning more about the 2 main characters and more about the male companions. And oh my god, this photo is just so pretty. So yeah, that is where we are. I am going to try to tag in Bookshops and Bonus this week by Travis Baldry into this vlog, if I can. because that's going to be my audiobook I'm reading for the week. It's like technically I'm done with it, but I felt a little bit rushed, so I want to go back and finish it. And then I don't know what I'm going to read next, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's really working for me. Yeah, the characters are good. It has kind of like a medieval setting to it. I don't know if I really said, but basically one character has to race on a horse to win a competition because her dad has been basically put in jail because he uses magic, and the other main character, Ariel, is someone that can make magical horses, but because she does it in like a unique way, she makes it through golems. They can't identify that they're using like enchantments, so that is why they are there. And that's why the main character, Damon, is kind of ringleading this whole thing, because he really wants to take down the war-based society, because everyone has to go to war. McCary's lost her brother, her mom, her dad, and so that's her things. And then Ariella is moved away from her home because she is dealing with a lot of monstrous magic. So that is where we are with those two characters. But so far, I'm really liking it. So yeah, my goal is to read another like 50 pages tonight and get up to part 3. I don't know if that's going to happen because Monday is my really long day. I have to wake up at like 4:30 to go to work, and I normally wake up at 5. And heaven help us, the week before break is always really complicated. It just is. And we actually have to work the full week this week, which I know doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but it's a lot when you teach 300 middle school kids that don't want to be there. So, yeah. So I'm going to go read another 50 pages of this. I'm trying to get my YouTube queue below 100 today. I'm trying to bang out the shorter videos so then I can just watch the rest of them during the week. Also, Percy Jackson is coming out this week, which I'm definitely going to talk about in whatever vlog I'm filming. So yeah. But yeah, that is my plans. I'm definitely going to finish this, and I might read one more fantasy book this week that I won't vlog because it's a Wednesday book title, but that is kind of the plan. So yeah, I'm going to go read another 50 pages of this, and either way I'll update you guys today, or I'll update you guys tomorrow with this and bookshops and bonus. Bye. Hey Book Dragons, I just want to give you a little bit of an update. It is Tuesday. Sorry, my voice has its good days and has its bad days. Definitely Monday and Tuesday I'm always a little bit worse because I talk a lot during the day, and I have not been slowing down, which I should. But I did want to give you an update. I did when I'm getting up to page 255 in The Dark Descent by Kayla Josephine. I am liking it. I would say this is more of a... It's giving me wartime vibes. I will say that. And I've always said this. I struggle with war stories because battles are really boring to me. They're always going to be boring to me, and this story is not boring. Like, the battles don't always capture me, but it's also like very bloodthirsty, and like the horses just like hurts my heart. So if you're an animal lover, I think this book has really good animal moments, but also really sad animal moments. There's also a lot of pacing issues, I would say. Like, there's a lot that happens, and I just feel like there's a little bit of a disconnection. Like, it's not a fluid story. Like, you kind of jump around, and I don't think you need to really jump around. There's also 2 main characters, which I do enjoy. Like, I like both main characters, but I feel like the reading experience is a bit choppy, to be honest, and I'm not loving the competition elements like as much as I was hoping, but I still like the characters and I still like the world building like quite a bit. So that's what's pulling me through. So I'm gonna try to read part 4, which is 319. I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight, but honestly I have nothing to do. I didn't have to work out tonight, which is also really good. I was just kind of reading. I also got home from work super early, which like never ever happens, so that was really fun. I read, today was not my best listening day. I think I only read like 30 minutes of my audiobook because my second period I had to eat lunch. I had to eat lunch just super early, and I really wasn't happy about eating lunch that early, but I didn't really have a choice. It's the only period I could eat, so I just kind of put on some YouTube videos. So now right now I'm watching Melanie read her video, And yeah, my goal is to get up to page 300 before I go to bed. I don't think I have any live shows, commitments, or I don't have any like things I'm doing tonight, which means I can probably just read another 50 pages and be content. But also I have a little German Shepherd that needs my attention. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more of this if I can and give you guys an update. But yeah, I am liking it. It's just not my favorite type of fantasy story because it is very action focused, very war-esque, even though it's more of like a competition, but it is a very, very bloodthirsty read, and I feel for the animals a lot. So that's more like of a me thing though. I don't think other people would have a big issue with that. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys my thoughts, and I will talk to you guys soon for another update, hopefully tonight. Yeah, talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey friends, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update so I can wrap up this vlog. So this morning at work, I did wind up finishing Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, and I really like this one. I think, again, this was more of a suffering of me reading books over a long period of time, and basically read it like 3 different times, basically 2, but I did really, really enjoy it. It was a nice prequel that I think sets up the next book in the series very, very well. I think I preferred Legends and Lattes a little bit more. This definitely had more of a plot, I think, a little bit more of a mystery. I like the characters, and I'm curious to see like where book 3 or book 4 in the series goes. It was super fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a fun time, and I'm glad that I listened to the audiobook. I definitely want to go back and listen to Legends and Latte as well. So yeah, very, 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 very fun read, and I will probably keep this one for my collection. So this was, according to Goodreads, this was definitely my 200th book, just reading wise, and I do have a physical copy. So I gave this 4.5 stars. I rounded it up to 5. Now, the book that I was planning on reading my 200th read was This Dark Descent by Kayla Josephine. I will say, I don't think this was a Laura book. Sometimes you read a book and you think it's a Laura book or like a you book, it's perfect. And I wanted to love this book. I thought the idea was super cool. But as I started to read it, I think I started to realize this wasn't a me book. It is, if you know anything about me, I really struggle with wartime settings. And even though this wasn't a wartime setting, the horse racing, that element took me really out of the story. It was very, very bloody, very, very bloodthirsty, and there was a lot of animal, like, injuries and other things, and that is just something, like, I really can't get behind. Like, it just makes me uncomfortable. So, I had an issue with that. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the pacing, and I think it wasn't executed as well. No, I have loved all of Kayla Josephine's other book. I really love her middle grade series. I loved her Stormcrow Duology. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. To be honest, it's such a pretty edition. I may wind up keeping it. But also, I just don't know. So I only gave it 3 stars, and I don't know if I'm going to pick up the sequel. But I think that if you're looking for kind of a unique story, especially if you don't read a lot of YA and you do like a wartime-esque setting, competition heavy, I think you should pick it up. It just didn't work for me. So yeah, in this vlog, I finished reading this, and I gave it 3 stars. This was my 200th read. You also saw my scavenger hunt. And I finished reading Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, which was also 5 stars 5. So this is my reading vlog. This is my 200th read. Let me know in the comments if you do anything fun for your milestone reads. I would love to know, and I'll talk to you soon for another video.